Chosen one, September 29th. You will withdraw billions of cash. God funded it. This is not symbolic talk, not wishful imagination, but a declaration of divine alignment. The universe, guided by God's hand, has been preparing a moment of release where what was once stored up for you will be placed directly into your hands. September 29th is marked as a day of transaction, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual realm. What you have long been carrying in faith will move into evidence. The billions represent more than money. They symbolize abundance, overflow, limitless provision, and the confirmation that lack no longer has a place in your story. Before we move further, watch this video all the way until the end. Every word you hear is infused with the vibration of manifestation, alignment, and breakthrough. Write your warmest wishes in the comments and type 144. When you do this, you are not only expressing intention, you are energizing the universe. Your wishes are seeds, and 144 is the code that amplifies them into motion. Together, we create a field of energy too strong to be denied. A vibration that calls forth what is already yours. This is how you step into the flow of September 29th. Now, chosen one, show your light by liking this video and subscribe to the channel, and let's step into this together. Chosen one, when you hear billions of cash, do not limit your mind to numbers in an account or stacks of money in hand. See it as the opening of a vault that was prepared for you long ago. This is wealth beyond measurement, wealth of opportunities, wealth of influence, wealth of ideas, wealth of resources that translate into financial overflow. God funds it because no human source could ever sustain what is being released. This is provision from a source that cannot run dry, a transfer that cannot be reversed, a supply that will not be exhausted. September 29th marks a divine withdrawal. It is as if you are standing at a heavenly bank, and your account, which has been accumulating unseen deposits for years, is now unlocked. Every tear you shed was a deposit. Every night you endured lack was a deposit. Every act of patience, every sacrifice of faith, every hidden struggle was recorded. Now the teller of destiny calls your name, slides the release across the counter, and says it is yours to take. What you carried in silence is now being converted into tangible wealth. Wealth that shifts your reality forever. Chosen one, this withdrawal is not a random blessing. It is a funded promise. It is God's signature on your story. It says that what you lost will be restored. What was denied will be released. What was delayed will be delivered. Billions are not about greed. They are about capacity. You have endured seasons that demanded great strength, and now you are prepared to carry great wealth. This is why it could not come sooner. This is why it could not be rushed. The billions are not just for you to hold, but for you to build, to multiply, to distribute, to transform. On September 29th, the transfer will feel like a breaking of chains. Lack, fear, and limitation will no longer weigh you down. Where you once worried about how to make ends meet, you will now think in terms of how to expand, how to give, how to leave legacy. Wealth changes perspective. It changes vocabulary. It changes posture. You will rise with confidence, not rooted in ego, but in confirmation. You will know that if God funded it, no one can revoke it. If heaven signed it, no force can block it. This day will also expose the illusion of struggle. For so long, it may have seemed like money had power over you, like resources controlled you, like opportunities were scarce. But September 29th will reveal that provision was always abundant, only hidden until the appointed time. The billions symbolize the tearing down of illusion. They show that there was never lack, only preparation. The wealth does not come to make you comfortable. It comes to make you realize that you were never powerless, never empty, never forgotten. Chosen one, this withdrawal also redefines value. When billions are released, you realize that you were never meant to chase scraps. You were designed for overflow. The value is not in the currency alone, but in what it declares about you, that you are worthy, you are capable, you are chosen to steward greatness. The billions are God's way of saying, you will no longer survive, you will thrive. This is not just provision for a day, but abundance for a lifetime. And when September 29th arrives, the release will not be small, it will not trickle, it will not sneak in quietly. It will be undeniable, impossible to hide, too large to miss. The billions represent magnitude, and magnitude cannot be contained. The world will see it, feel it, and recognize that this moment was not human-made but divinely funded. This is why it had to be God. So no man could take credit. So no enemy could block it. So no doubt could remain. Chosen one, prepare yourself. September 29th is not the day you ask for permission. It is the day you step to the counter, extend your hand, and withdraw what is already yours. It is the day your balance shows proof of endurance, and your account reflects the journey you survived. It is not luck. It is not chance. It is not coincidence. It is funding. It is alignment. It is destiny placing billions into your reality. Chosen one, September 29th is not just a withdrawal. It is a transfer of power. Wealth carries influence, and when billions are released into your hands, it does more than change your account. It changes your voice, your presence, your reach. You will notice that doors which once resisted you will swing open without hesitation. Invitations that once passed you by will suddenly arrive at your feet. The world listens differently when you carry evidence, and evidence is what this withdrawal delivers. You are stepping into a new arena, where your presence is not questioned, but respected, not overlooked, but sought after. This withdrawal will also create acceleration. Money is more than paper. It is energy, and when it flows into your life in billions, it accelerates everything you touch. Dreams that once seemed distant will now move into reality. Projects that sat waiting will now find the fuel to move forward. Visions that felt too heavy to carry will now find wings. September 29th will be the day where time bends for you, where years of waiting are compressed into days of progress. Acceleration is the natural effect of abundance. And chosen one, this moment will silence every doubt. For years, your journey has been questioned. People may have wondered why you waited, why you believed, why you refused to give up. They may have mistaken your patience for weakness or your silence for defeat. But billions do not argue. They declare. On September 29th, the reward itself will speak louder than words. The release will be undeniable, silencing every voice of criticism and leaving no room for denial. Vindication will arrive, not through explanation, but through manifestation. This day is also about generational shift. When you withdraw billions, you are not only stepping into abundance for yourself, you are rewriting the story for your family line. Cycles of lack that plagued your bloodline will end. Struggles that repeated across generations will be broken. Those who come after you will inherit not just resources, but a new reality, one shaped by your breakthrough. The billions are bigger than you, chosen one. They are legacy, ensuring that the story of your lineage is transformed forever. And with this wealth comes freedom. For too long, your choices may have been restricted by limitation. You had to think small because lack demanded it. You had to settle for less because resources constrained you. But when billions are placed into your hands, freedom arrives. You will no longer make decisions based on fear or shortage, but on vision and expansion. This is what divine funding creates: the ability to build, to move, to choose without chains. September 29th carries with it the freedom that lack could never give. This withdrawal is also symbolic of justice. Think of every time you gave more than you received, every time you poured into others without return, every time you worked in silence with nothing to show. September 29th is the balancing of scales. The billions are not random. They are repayment, restoration, recompense. They are the universe's way of ensuring that nothing you endured was ignored, that every sacrifice is recognized, that every hidden investment is finally visible. Justice has a sound, and on this day, it sounds like abundance. Chosen one, the billions also mark permanence. This is not a temporary increase that fades away after a moment. It is not a fleeting windfall that comes and goes. What is being released is foundational, designed to last, to expand, to create streams that will outlive you. This is why it is God-funded, because human hands cannot secure permanence, but divine release can. Once September 29th comes, you will never again think in terms of lack. Your reality will shift permanently into abundance. And understand this: the withdrawal is not only about what enters your account, but about what leaves your spirit. The anxiety, the fear, the doubt that lack once imposed will dissolve. Where worry lived, peace will reign. Where hesitation held you back, confidence will rise. Where fear whispered limitation, vision will roar with possibility. The billions are both external provision and internal transformation. September 29th is not just a transaction, it is a rebirth. So prepare, chosen one. Prepare not only to receive, but to expand. Prepare not only to withdraw, but to build. Prepare not only for abundance, but for the responsibility that comes with it. The billions are not just wealth, they are assignment. They are tools to construct destiny, to shape legacy, to change history. God funded it because it was always bigger than you, because it was always meant to impact more than your own story. September 29th is not only about you rising, it is about everything connected to you being lifted higher. Chosen one, when September 29th arrives, the release of billions will not stop at your hands. It will ripple outward in every direction. Abundance cannot remain still. It multiplies. It flows. It seeks outlets to expand. What you withdraw will not only sustain you, but will create waves that touch those around you, communities beyond you, and even nations far from you. This is the nature of divine funding. It does not come to settle in one place, but to circulate, to build, to transform. This withdrawal is also about expansion. For so long your vision may have been restrained by limitation. You dreamed within the boundaries of what you thought you could afford. You planned within the margins of scarcity. But September 29th tears those limits away. With billions released, your imagination will stretch wider. Your dreams will rise higher. Your plans will reach further. Expansion is the natural language of abundance, and this day will unlock it within you. And chosen one, this moment will not just open doors, it will create them. Opportunities that never existed before will suddenly appear. Platforms that seemed unreachable will welcome you. Networks that felt distant will align with you. The release of billions is more than financial. It is architectural. It builds bridges where there were none. It constructs pathways you could never have accessed alone. September 29th is the day when impossibility bends into reality, when the road ahead widens beyond recognition. This withdrawal also carries global impact. You may think of your story as personal, but once billions are placed in your hands, your influence extends beyond borders. Wealth amplifies voice, and your voice will begin to carry into spaces you once only dreamed of. Projects, visions, and missions that could only live in your heart will now have the fuel to reach across nations. The billions are not just for your table, chosen one, they are for the world to taste the fruit of your rise. And with global impact comes recognition. People who once overlooked you will now pay attention. Those who dismissed your story will now study it. Those who underestimated your path will now respect it. The billions are undeniable proof that your alignment was not fantasy, but reality. Recognition is not about ego, it is about placement. The world must see you so that your light can travel further. And September 29th ensures that visibility. You will not need to announce yourself. The withdrawal itself will do the announcing. Chosen one, September 29th, will also rewrite narratives. Where your story once carried themes of struggle, survival, and waiting, it will now carry themes of overflow, abundance, and fulfillment. The billions are more than numbers. They are words written into the book of your life, words that replace lack with provision, silence with testimony, delay with acceleration. This withdrawal is a new chapter, and once it is written, the old chapters will no longer define you. This day also seals vindication on a larger scale. For years, your journey may have been misunderstood. People could not see why you stayed faithful, why you continued to believe, why you refused to quit. But billions are not invisible. They are evidence too great to ignore. Vindication does not shout, it shines. And on September 29th, your shine will silence every voice that doubted, not through argument, but through undeniable proof. And understand this: permanence is tied to this release. The billions are not coming as a fleeting event. They are not a sudden spark that fades in the night. They are the foundation of a new season, a new rhythm, a new reality. Once you experience this level of abundance, your thinking shifts permanently. Your planning adjusts permanently. Your vision expands permanently. The billions ensure that lack is no longer part of your identity. Finally, chosen one, this withdrawal will awaken within you a deeper awareness of who you truly are. You will realize that you were never small, never forgotten, never powerless. The billions are not making you chosen. They are revealing that you were chosen all along. September 29th is not the beginning of your worth, but the unveiling of it. What was hidden will now be displayed, and once displayed, it can never be denied. Chosen one, the billions you will withdraw on September 29th are not only wealth, they are liberation. For so long, you have carried the weight of limitations that forced you to think smaller than your true capacity. You had to plan according to lack, to dream inside boundaries drawn by scarcity, to move cautiously because resources were thin. But when the billions arrive, those limitations dissolve. You will no longer shrink visions to fit your means. You will expand your means to fit your vision. This is freedom, chosen one, not just financial freedom, but creative, emotional, and spiritual freedom. This withdrawal will also break the ceilings that others tried to place over you. At times, people doubted your capacity because they only saw the resources you held, not the vision you carried. They misjudged your potential because they measured you against your present circumstances, not your hidden destiny. But billions change perception. Once the release happens, no one can place ceilings on you again. September 29th will prove that the vision inside you was always greater than the limitations outside you. And chosen one, this release carries unstoppable momentum. Abundance does not arrive quietly. It creates movement. When billions are placed in your hands, everything around you begins to shift. Ideas turn into action. Plans turn into reality. Dreams turn into projects. Where you once waited for opportunities, opportunities will now chase you. This is the rhythm of momentum. Once it begins, it builds on itself. September 29th is the push that sets the wheel of overflow in motion, and once it rolls forward, nothing can stop it. This day will also reframe your relationship with time. For years, you may have felt delayed, as though life was moving ahead of you while you remained behind. You may have wondered why the process was so long, why the waiting seemed endless. But the release of billions compresses time. Suddenly, what once looked impossible in a lifetime becomes achievable in a season. Progress will no longer move slowly. It will accelerate, folding years of delay into moments of breakthrough. September 29th will teach you that destiny does not run late. It runs right on time. Chosen one, the billions also equip you for impact. Wealth is not only about what you can enjoy, but about what you can create. With these resources, you will have the power to build, to transform, to extend your reach beyond yourself. What once was a dream of influence becomes a reality of legacy. September 29th equips you to leave a mark that outlives you, a footprint that generations will follow. The billions are not just funding your rise, they are funding the ripple effect of your existence. And this is why the release is about more than provision. It is about purpose. Money without purpose is just paper. But billions aligned with your calling become tools, keys, and weapons of transformation. You will fund dreams, break chains, and rewrite stories. You will not only live in abundance, but also distribute it. You will not only rise, but lift others with you. September 29th is not about making you comfortable. It is about making you powerful enough to fulfill what you were chosen for. This withdrawal also brings clarity. Sometimes lack clouds vision, because all you can see is survival. But abundance clears the fog. With billions in your hands, you will see differently. You will think differently. You will plan differently. The distractions of scarcity will no longer consume your energy, freeing you to focus fully on creation, expansion, and purpose. September 29th will sharpen your sight, allowing you to look beyond survival into the horizon of destiny. And chosen one, permanence, is woven into this day. This is not a fleeting moment of wealth that comes and goes like a passing storm. This is a new atmosphere, a new standard, a new baseline for your life. Once the billions arrive, you will never again operate from lack. Your mindset will shift. Your decisions will shift. Your environment will shift permanently. Abundance will no longer be a dream. It will be your reality, one that cannot be reversed. And remember this truth: September 29th is not just about you withdrawing billions, it is about you stepping into alignment with what was always meant to be yours. The funding was prepared before you ever asked. The provision was secured before you ever needed it. The abundance was stored before you ever dreamed it. This day is the unveiling, the release, the moment destiny writes its signature on your story. And once it is released, chosen one, the flow cannot be stopped. Chosen one, September 29th, is also the day of justice. For years, it may have looked like you were giving more than you ever received, sowing seeds without harvest, pouring effort into silence. People may have looked at your waiting and thought it was wasted time. But when the billions are released, justice will speak louder than doubt. This withdrawal is not a gift of chance. It is the return of what was always owed to you. It is restoration with interest, repayment with abundance, proof that no investment of faith ever goes unnoticed. This withdrawal will also redeem your past. The struggles you endured, the sacrifices you made, the losses you carried, they will no longer feel like empty pain. The billions are not only for your future, they reach back to heal your history. Where there was lack, you will now see meaning. Where there was brokenness, you will now see wholeness. The release on September 29th will crown your story with purpose, proving that even the hardest chapters were part of building this moment. Chosen one, the billions also amplify your voice. Wealth is a microphone, and when it enters your life, the world listens differently. Your words will carry influence, your story will carry credibility, your presence will carry weight. This does not mean you will change who you are. It means the world will finally pay attention to what you already carry. September 29th is not only the release of resources, but the release of recognition. The billions validate what has been within you all along. And with recognition comes responsibility. This withdrawal will not only fund your rise, but will position you to shape the lives of others. Influence is not about control, it is about impact. You will have the ability to open doors for those still waiting, to lift others out of cycles you once knew, to fund visions bigger than yourself. September 29th empowers you to be more than a recipient of wealth. It positions you as a distributor of destiny. This is also a day of breaking comparisons. For too long, you may have looked at others advancing while you remained in silence. You may have wondered why their paths seemed faster, why their journeys looked easier. But the billions will show you that your path was never behind. It was being preserved. While others moved with speed, you were being built with depth. And now, with the release, you will advance further, higher, and stronger because your foundation is secure. September 29th breaks the illusion of competition and proves that chosen ones move on divine timing. And chosen one, this withdrawal will not just elevate you, it will elevate everything connected to you. Families will shift, communities will be impacted, nations will feel the ripple. The billions are not confined to your hands, they are designed to create overflow. Your breakthrough becomes a river that feeds many, a light that guides others, a testimony that awakens hope. This is why God funded it, because it was always bigger than you. September 29th is also a declaration of permanence. This is not a momentary rise that fades with time. It is not a spark that burns out quickly. It is a fire that sustains, a well that never runs dry, a foundation that generations will build upon. The billions are not just wealth for now, they are wealth for legacy. They will outlive you, continuing to speak long after this day has passed. Permanence is the mark of divine release. Finally, Let this truth anchor your spirit. The billions are not simply money. They are confirmation. They confirm that you were right to wait, right to believe, right to endure. They confirm that chosen ones cannot be denied, no matter how long the silence lasts. They confirm that destiny always funds its vision. On September 29th, your confirmation arrives. Not as whispers, but as billions. Not as promises, but as reality. And once it is released, your story will never be the same again. Chosen One, September 29th, is not just a day of wealth. It is a day of revelation. It reveals to you and to the world that everything you endured had purpose. It proves that silence was not abandonment, but preparation. It shows that every tear, every delay, every moment of struggle was a deposit into an account that has now matured. The billions you withdraw on this day are not luck. They are destiny finally stepping into plain sight. What was hidden will be revealed, and once revealed, it cannot be denied. This withdrawal is not temporary excitement. It is permanent establishment. Once you hold what is released, you will never again plan from lack, never again dream with fear, never again measure yourself by limitation. Your mind will shift, your posture will rise, your vision will expand. Abundance will become your baseline, not your exception. September 29th is not the top of a mountain, but the beginning of a new landscape. From here, everything changes. Chosen One, understand the depth of what is being placed in your hands. These billions are not just for comfort. They are for construction. They are the tools to build legacies, to create pathways, to establish foundations that will outlast you. The withdrawal is not simply about what you can spend. It is about what you can shape. This is why God funded it, because the vision He gave you was always too large for human provision. The billions match the weight of your assignment. And as this abundance arrives, momentum will follow. Opportunities will multiply, doors will open faster, influence will extend wider. You will not need to chase, the flow will chase you. Abundance attracts alignment, and alignment accelerates destiny. September 29th marks the moment where your journey shifts from waiting to overflowing, from hidden to broadcasted, from believing to holding. Once the flow begins, it will not stop. This day also carries vindication on the highest level. For years, your story was misunderstood. Your waiting was mocked. Your patience was questioned. Your endurance was seen as failure. But billions are louder than opinions. They speak for themselves. They declare that you were never behind, never forgotten, never overlooked. Vindication will not come from your lips, but from your evidence. And evidence silences doubt more powerfully than argument ever could. Chosen One, September 29th, will also write your name into legacy. This is not just a moment for your lifetime. It is a marker for generations to come. Those who follow after you will point to this day as the moment the story changed. They will say, "This is when the curse of lack was broken. This is when overflow began. This is when the Chosen One unlocked destiny for us all." Legacy is built in days like this. Days when heaven and earth align to release what cannot be stopped. And never forget, this is irreversible. Once the billions are withdrawn, they cannot be taken back. Once the release is made, it cannot be undone. Once the abundance is placed in your hands, it cannot be hidden again. Permanence is the stamp of divine funding. September 29th will not only bless you in the moment, it will mark you forever. You will never again see yourself as small, never again measure your worth by scarcity, never again doubt the weight of your calling. So prepare, chosen one. Walk into this day with confidence, with open hands, with readiness to receive and to expand. Do not shrink back. Do not second guess. Do not fear. You were built for this, shaped for this, destined for this. September 29th is the unveiling of everything you carried in faith, the release of everything you were promised, the confirmation of everything you believed. And when the billions are released, the world will know what heaven already declared. You are chosen, and you cannot be denied. Chosen one, September 29th, is not only about the billions that touch your hands, but about the shift that touches your spirit. Wealth, when divinely funded, is more than material. It is spiritual confirmation. It is the universe saying that your alignment was never in vain, that your sacrifices were always seen, that your prayers were always heard. On this day, abundance will become your language, and overflow will become your reality. It is the day when your inner knowing becomes outer evidence. This withdrawal also signifies restoration of dignity. For too long, lack tried to clothe you in shame, delay tried to cover you in doubt, and scarcity tried to limit your identity. But the billions will wash those garments away. This is the moment your dignity is restored, your identity renewed, and your rise sealed forever in abundance.